hoc testing. What is exploratory testing? It's ad hoc testing with the purpose of finding bugs. It emphasizes personal freedom and responsibility of the individual tester. So testers are not restricted. It's not a technique, but it's an approach. So allowing for critical thinking and the humanness of testing. This testing requires no documentation, planning, or process to be followed. Since this testing aims at finding defects through random approach without any documentation, defects will not be mapped to test cases. So it allows for simultaneous learning, test design, and execution. It emphasizes the tester's autonomy, skill, and creativity. So it helps testers to be more creative and not get loaded with routine testing activities. What are the advantages of exploratory testing? Finding more bugs. Automated tests are limited to the test cases that are written for them. They won't test any bugs outside of this scope. So exploratory testing cannot be automated, but it provides a perfect complement to automated testing. The speed of the test cycles. Exploratory testing doesn't require extensive planning. The scope of a test cycle needs to be clear, but detailed test cases are not needed. That's because testers are trusted to test what they believe needs testing. In comparison, automated tests are fast in test execution, but can be time-consuming to plan. So testing methods need to respond to change quickly and seamlessly. This allows for that. Idea generation. The creativity required of testers and the fast pace of exploratory testing means that more ideas are created. Discovery, investigation, and learning. It allows for the tester to learn and iterate throughout the process, which is really valuable. Exploratory testing versus scripted testing. So here are some statistics. On average, exploratory testing discovers 11% more overall defects than scripted testing. For defects that should be immediately obvious, such as a missing button in the UI, exploratory testing discovers 29% more versus scripted. When it comes to complex bugs requiring 3 or more user actions to cause an error or failure, it jumps to 33% more defects found, which is insane. So exploratory testing, do it and do it often. I love this method. I love the freedom that comes along with it. I love being able to utilize critical thinking, jumping off of the happy path, just using previous testing knowledge and experience to find overlooked bugs, not being pigeonholed to pre-written test cases, but really allowing you to put on different hats as different users, which is very valuable because there's not going to be just one type of user. Out of the utilization of freedom and pure curiosity, the tester has the ability to find a behavior or several behaviors that were not thought of during the creation of automation tests. And this method actually runs parallel to some of the previously mentioned techniques that we've had in manual button pushers, such as session-based testing and swarm testing. You can do session-based exploratory testing, which does add a bit more structure and you can time box it. But I prefer to just kind of open world it and just see what I find. I think you find a lot of interesting things that way. Manual testers are actually extremely valuable. They can utilize methods such as these to mimic a wide variety of users that stray away from the happy path. You're not going to find a user, you're not going to find that all users just stick to one path and just do one thing. You're definitely going to have a user that that's curious. What does this do? Let me push this. What do I do here? What if I do this? So it's really great to have a manual tester that can think on the fly and try those things out as it comes to them. And then they can communicate these findings to their team, which increases the overall level of the quality of the product. And it actually really builds trust for you as the manual tester with your product manager, with your developers, with your UX, because you're vouching for your UX too, and not just looking for bugs, but um, is it an intuitive process? Does this UI make sense? Is it a poor user experience? It's not necessarily just about finding bugs. So I have a little activity for us. Um, we're actually going to test a product that is known to most testers and users. And the purpose is, like I mentioned, not going to be just to find bugs. So it's going to be to just question everything. Um, you're going to use your given freedom to understand and learn the flows that you'll be looking at. You'll use your curiosity and creativity to question the features and how they've been implemented. And like I mentioned before, this is very valuable as a technique to take back to your company, to your team, um, and build that trust on your testing brain. Your testing brain is extremely valuable. All right. So, drum roll, please. We will be testing Amazon. I put together a little sheet, which I will show in just a minute. But the point is to test a product that is well known. Basically, everybody uses Amazon, whether it's on the web, whether it's in the app. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to see what we can find in a well-used, well-known, polished product. So for the group activity, I'm going to start the timer, and we're going to go for 10 minutes just on our own. Unscripted, uninterrupted testing. And so on the sheet, you're going to be able to choose random parts of the product, whatever operating system you're using. You can choose a different browser that you don't normally use. And then I put in device just in case you want to hop on your mobile app and just try and test the mobile app and see what you find. Once the time has been reached, we're going to share our findings as a group and we're going to discuss. So this is the sheet I have put together. It is in LucidSpark, which is one of our products. But everyone, when I start the timer, we're going to pull up Amazon. You decide whether the browser or the app. Decide based on what I have down here, what section you're going to want to choose. So you'll just choose randomly from each section what part of Amazon you're going to be looking at. What you want to focus on in your testing. So do you want to focus on backend? Do you want to focus on UI? Accessibility? It's really up to you. The idea is to have everybody kind of doing something different and then just choose one of the browsers. So we will objectively try to expose bugs. We're going to act as different users. We're going to try to figure out, is this a poor user experience? Was this intuitive? Like, would I be able to find this easily? Are there paywalls? That kind of thing. Just anything you can think of. 10 minutes after the timer goes off, we'll come back as a group and we'll go over our findings. What I'd love you guys to do is I'm going to share this link and let me double check that this link will work. Let me know if it does not. Everyone should be able to hop into this document. And what you can do is on this left panel over here, there's little sticky notes. And so I put a few examples actually, of bugs I already found. So one is not technically a bug, but I wondered why on the US website, why do they only offer US and English and Spanish? If not, you have to go to a different website. Why? I actually ran into a bug a while ago with the Amazon store card where if you want to look at your balance, if you want to manage your store card, there should be a link that allows you to go off of the website. It didn't work. I was like, come on, Amazon, get it together. And then this other one that I found, I have a little GIF here. It's a UI bug where half of the coupon is just missing, and when you hover over the link, if it's a longer link, part of the text just disappears. It just disappears. So those are just some examples. What I'd love you to do once the timer starts and you're exploring, you're welcome to just throw a sticky note down here where you found it, like what it was, and the priority you think it might be. And then we are going to, as a group, decide, you know, who has the most critical bugs they found, and or the highest priority of issues that was found, and they will be named the Manual Button Pushers Bug Hunt Champion. So it's really great. The rules are basically only manual testing. Surprise, surprise. And no testing around payments, please. I really don't want to take down Amazon or like have ops have a bunch of alerts. But like if we can find bugs, that's awesome. Okay. Where is le timer? Timer. There it is. Got it. Okay. So I'm going to put this up for 10 minutes. Does everybody feel good about the objective and how to track?
Should we be picking an area of Amazon?
So the section's down here, yeah.
That we're familiar with, or should we be picking something that we're not familiar with?
So we have 10 minutes, which is not a ton of time. I have dabbled in some of these sections that are not the main Amazon. It's really up to you. Do you feel like you can find a lot of things in something you're not familiar with? Like you understand the basics and the UI of Amazon, but you feel like trying to explore a different area? Or do you have an area that you already know really well that you want to just poke really deep at? So I've left it up to you. I have other as an option in each one of these categories, just in case you have a preference, but I wanted to have some jumping off points. So I don't want to pigeonhole anybody, just try to stick to a section, whatever it is. Like I'll pull up Amazon because this is where I ended up finding the coupon UI bug. I didn't even know this existed until like last night. So I hopped into this tab and then I wanted to clip a coupon, but I don't understand why half of it is cut off. It's so I kind of got stuck here seeing a bug. But you're welcome to choose a tab that I haven't listed. You're welcome to choose a tab that you are already extremely familiar with, that you think you might be able to find strange issues with. So exploratory testing is really based off of the tester's knowledge. So just go off of your instinct. If you feel like you can handle a new area and find things based on previous testing knowledge, do it. If you're not comfortable with a brand new area and you want to do something a little bit more familiar, do it.
Cool.
Is everybody ready? I'm so excited.
Let's do it.
Okay, start the timer. Okay, time. Let's see what we've got. Oh, we've got a good list going. Does anyone want to share first? Anyone think they found something really great?
Yeah, I'll go. See if you can reproduce this. If you go into Amazon there and go into Amazon Smile, have you ever heard of Amazon Smile?
No. Is that what? Where is that?
If you go to your big list there, your accounts
Okay.
and lists.
This one. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa. Zoom is freaking out. Okay, sorry.
I was looking into that too. It freaked out on me, and it felt like it had to cache or something like that a few times. And I swear it was in here.
Okay.
Maybe you just got to search for it.
Oh, Like up here?
Yeah, just type in smile. Amazon smile.
Yeah, you
It's
can
a-
also get to it using the hamburger menu on the top left. All.
This one?
Mhm.
Okay.
That is taking a while. There you go.
This is it? Okay.
Yeah, click in there.
Okay. Oh my gosh. So much delay. Okay.
So if you type in Utah, the Utah Avalanche Center. Let's see if you can reproduce this.
Okay.
It's a weird one. Yeah. Select that.
Okay.
Yeah. Hit yes.
Okay.
Start shopping.
Okay.
So now you're supporting the Avalanche Center. Go back
Okay.
to Smile.
Okay. I think it says I'm in Smile. Do I hit this?
Yeah. Let's see. I'll click on supporting the Utah Avalanche Center there.
Okay. I'm hovering. Click it.
Learn more.
Okay. Learn more.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Charity lists. Go back up top there.
This guy?
So we're going to search for it again and see if you can find it. Yep. That is hilarious to me. If you're already supporting it, you can no longer find it. That is the weirdest thing. Yeah, this
So
is all.
what is the point of finding it again? Like searching for it again?
And like I said, it's kind of a discussion to be debated, but it does say all charity lists. Wouldn't you think that you should find it, even if you're already supporting it?
So
Anyway,
I wonder.
I thought that was odd. I found that
Do
one
it
odd.
again. That is odd. I'm curious. I didn't see if this still stayed up here.
It does.
It does? Okay.
Yep. So you're currently supporting it.
Yeah. So it's still here.
So it's there, but it does say all charity lists. Anyway, something odd.
What does everybody think? Do you think it should still populate, or do you think it's enough that you can still access it from here and like change it?
I think it would be nice to be able to search it and just it notify you that you're already supporting it. So that way you have confirmation again that you are supporting it.
Yeah, that was my thought too.
That makes sense to me. Some kind of message here where like instead of no results found, like you are already supporting this.
Yeah.
That's good job. I think that's a great find.
Thank you. I found it odd.
And yay for doing Amazon Smile. Yay.
And now you know
free
about
money
it.
for the charity.
Yeah, exactly. Now
I didn't even know about that feature, so that's great.
It supports schools, Utah Avalanche Center. There's a billion in there.
I'm gonna give you an emoji of heart.
Thank you very much.
Who wants to go next? So just real quick on that one, it's one of those weird borderline issues where it's like it's kind of a bug because it does actually come back with no results found, where that's probably not the correct return. But it's definitely a discussion to have with like UX, right? So at least bringing this back to the team would get a discussion going, and I'm sure a result would come out of it that someone would need to put a pull request together and get it merged. So I think that's awesome. Whether it's a feature request, a bug, could this be better for the user? I don't know where it falls in, but I'm sure it would get fixed. Okay, who wants to go next?
I thought it was kind of weird that you can't buy anything on Amazon unless you have an account. Like there's no guest checkout.
Oh, that's interesting.
At least I couldn't figure out a way. Like every time I was trying to buy something, I was like, you gotta create this account. I was like, no, I really don't want to.
Interesting. Yeah, there should be like a guest or something, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so sign in.
But
Oh wait,
guest
did I see
doesn't that
guest?
guest doesn't make any sense though. Like who is guest, right? You can be a guest, I can be a guest, and then the other people can be a guest. If you want to see what you ordered and then the list of your orders, you need to have an account in that case.
Mm.
Otherwise, how are you gonna see your like history?
Well, I don't care about my history. I just saw this really cool thing and I just wanted to buy it because it was on sale and I wanted it. Right? Like I can see a reason why you want an account, but some people don't want accounts. I mean, I personally have an account, but I mean, I'm just thinking, is there someone that would possibly want to order something without it?
Okay, yeah.
Like
It
you go buy
seems
something
like
at Target, right? You go to target.com, I can go buy something there probably without an account. I would
so.
assume.
I think Amazon's argument is that they want you to sign in securely. Like they can't guarantee your guest experience would be secure or your information would be secure.
I think Amazon's argument is they want to sell your information.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Or that. That's a great point, though. I don't know if I ever noticed you can't be a guest.
A lot of companies have really complex create account things, but I just went to theirs and it's pretty minimal. And then even after you do it, all you have to do is like an address. But sometimes people are scared of creating an account when you have to enter in your phone number and email and social security number or something like that.
Yeah, interesting. Was that on here? Did you?
It was on to the left a little bit more.
Okay, perfect. This one, right? Okay, I'm gonna give you a fire emoji. How about that?
Okay. And then your guys' Spark thing, it doesn't do well, I guess, with long lines of text.
Yeah, that's cool, right? It's specifically links.
Yeah.
I've seen that before, but it's because they have ways to put in links so that there's an icon that appears above. So there's no text wrapping for that. It's meant to be specifically added as like a link and then just an icon.
I see.
But yes, I do agree with you because it is the same if you go into like, what is this, notes or comments? I think there's a notes one. Chat? No. It's like comments. It's the same thing. It won't wrap. It'll just go out of view. It's like, cool. You don't like links everywhere, do you?
It's a hard one to come by.
Dwayne, I am so curious about this one since you ended up using the app. Or did you do the browser on your phone?
I chose Cake browser on phone.
I don't even know what Cake browser is.
Yeah, it's a different browser. And the interaction that I'm seeing here is that I've got the filters open, and then when I scroll down, I'm trying to scroll further down, and I scroll back up, and I can't scroll up further, but I can try to scroll down again. It's a little kind of a stuck situation, but it's because of the pop-up of the browser items itself. So it could actually be a browser bug potentially, but I can scroll down once I've got this panel open at the bottom.
Interesting.
And I don't imagine that Amazon gets a lot of sales on the Cake browser either. So probably not that huge of a deal.
That's interesting. That's a good find though. I'm gonna have to look into Cake browser. I haven't even heard of that before. Huh. I enjoy your edge case. I'm gonna give you a sparkle. Whose is this one? Share item via text.
So that one's mine. And what's kind of interesting, it only happened to me once. So I'm on my phone because it's the only place I'm actually logged into Amazon. And I did the link, share by text to someone. And in the text I sent, the URL was all broken and there was no image. I sent it to my sister and she said she actually got it fine. She could click on it. And then I tried it again and it worked fine the second time.
Oh.
So I don't know if it was a data load issue and it was just slow loading the URL, but
interesting.
I'm kind of disappointed I couldn't do it again.
So maybe it's a performance thing or a race condition. So you'd probably have to try to reproduce it a few more times and see.
But again, I also don't want to keep spamming my sister either with random stuff.
Why
I only
not?
did it a few times. If I do, she's gonna buy it all.
That's amazing. Clap for you for doing share, because share is tricky. So it's just that like the thumbnail didn't load, but the link
and
worked,
so
or
initial text, it had, from what I saw on my side, it had the link, but it was just plain text. I couldn't click on it.
oh, I see.
So I don't know if the text was broken up or just didn't quite load correctly in the.
That sounds like a connectivity, like
And
network.
that's what I was wondering, but yeah, my suspicion is it just kind of didn't quite load right. But it fascinated me on her side. She received it just fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So maybe something happened with your mobile network or something. Yes. That's still great though. I wonder if there's testing around that, like 3G, 4G, 5G. That's interesting. What else do we have? Who wants to go next?
I could share.
Yeah.
Be really quick, and you don't necessarily have to reproduce it. But I tried changing the languages just to see what elements weren't being translated. And so there are some things that are not translated. I realize that they're not going to want to like translate certain, like they're not going to want to translate Prime because that's the name of that part of the product. Or even Amazon Music. I realized like Amazon Music goes together. They're not going to want to translate music. But there are some things that they didn't change. And then I also kind of cheated a bit to find more problems. But I'm a user, so that's what I do. I went to amazon.de, which is the German website of Amazon. And then I changed the language back to English. So I was still a German user on the German website, but changed it back to English, and there was a lot more problems there. So I don't know if that necessarily counts because I didn't go to Amazon.com, but I'm a user. I don't know any better. So,
what if you were in a different country and you needed it to be translated to English, but you were on the country's website?
Yeah, I did try messing with that too because it noticed that I'm a German user, but I wasn't in Germany. And so I tried to mess with that too, but I didn't find anything.
Oh, customer ratings. That has to be a translate, right? Like they can translate customer and ratings.
I mean, that right there, you can see I'm in Germany with the little flag up on top, and it's amazon.de. So this is the translate to English. So all the categories at the top are English. That there's a few pages that didn't get translated back to English. So.
Interesting. I applaud you for doing the international and language route. I can't. Oh, I can emoji. Can I not emoji on an image? Oh, lame. I'm gonna put a sticky with an emoji. LOL. Did you have any? Are these someone else's?
Yeah, that's my little batch.
Jen, what did you find?
I was in Handmade. I've only been on the app before, and I was in Firefox. So I'm not as familiar with that browser. And I also played with the language, and I didn't know if it was Handmade specific because they're custom products, and so there are these vendors that are coming in and writing up their descriptions and whatnot, but it was not translating with the flipping the language to Spanish inside of Amazon. So I thought that was a poor user experience. Why offer the option if they weren't going to go full hog and translate the stuff? And then I also found some other kind of like UI, UX type things just as a missed opportunity to upsell or to educate a new customer into coercing them to sign up for the Prime membership. So little things like that.
That's awesome.
And then also on most websites, on like JCPenney, Target, things like that, you can alter how many results are shown in a given search. But with Amazon, I didn't see a way to do that. And so I couldn't try to make my search results load faster by toggling that option.
That's a really great find, actually. I love all of these. Good job. So I wonder if it's because Handmade is a newer edition and it's just not as polished.
Yeah, and I tested that theory by going into the baby section and I searched a Graco car seat, and the description for the Graco car seat is also just still in English.
Needs work, Amazon. Good job. Who has not gone that would like to go? I see some down here in green. I see.
That's me. I
here.
could go.
Oh,
The
okay.
dark green.
Let's zoom in.
Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of accessibility testing, so that's the first thing that I wanted to do. And I was looking for, like, when I use a tool, there's all kinds of issues that they find, but I wanted to find an actual one that a screen reader would find. So the search icon just says button go. It doesn't have an ARIA label to say that it's a search button. So I thought that was interesting because it's one of the main features. Yeah, I guess I already talked about the validator. It's finding, I don't know, 30 plus issues, not just recommendations, but issues on each site. I use the Wave tool, which I really, really like. That one's been a really good one. And then in the quick view, which is on like their funny marketing pages, when you open it up, you can't tab through and click on the show more button. Yeah.
Oh
So that's
my.
kind of funny.
Wow. Those are really good finds. It sounds almost like it blocks the user in some instances, would you say?
There's always a way around it, if you can see, but yeah.
Oh boy. Good job. As a group. Oh boy. Really good job. What's over here? Someone went into Safari. Who is this? Would this person like to go?
Hi. So mine were just super minor and just seemed odd. Hi.
Hi.
So I think this, like the product specifications. So I was also in Handmade, and it only covered that small column for the entire width of the screen, no matter how wide I made it. And so it just looked really strange, honestly, compared to the rest of the page where everything else was full width. So yeah, I did not, it just seems not polished, basically. And then the other one could honestly potentially be like a normal thing, because I noticed there's like a buffer around the images, but it becomes annoying when I'm scrolling past the image because I want to actually look at the product information, and I like my cursor's off of the image, but now the image is still showing as enlarged completely covering the text, even if my cursor is off of it.
Ew.
And it only comes off after I, like with my cursor, I touched like the magnified portion of it. And then I can see the product information. So it's,
That's
I just
horrible.
dislike.
Does that mean like if you're a Mac user, you have to use Chrome? Like some people
Mhm.
still use Safari. Come on, Amazon. I applaud you for going to a lesser liked browser.
Yeah.
That's so unpleasant though. Like, cause that just, it's just like, wow, less love, huh? You don't care about us over at Safari.
User base is smaller. I'm sure it's fine.
Aw, poor users. Oh my goodness. That's awesome. Good job.
They could also be contributing to the death of Safari, so I'm okay with that one.
They're like, will not fix. We don't want to support this anymore. Let them just keep reporting issues. We don't care. It looks like we have this one still. Light green.
Yeah, it's just CSS stuff like what she was talking about. If you go to that link, you can take a look at it. First thing is the footer has some weird like lines at the bottom. Like I don't know what's going on with
Out of
that.
the way. Like this?
Yeah, because if you go to any other page, those lines do not exist.
Oh. Ah.
And then when you go smaller, it not for this part, the images above the four images.
Mm-hmm.
If you like resize your browser and stuff, like those images don't really play nice.
They're not like responsive.
Yeah. They're super good.
What's funny is I was playing with the responsiveness on the main site and it was fine. Oh boy, they need more testers, I think. Look at this.
Because this is like a main site. This is their music site. So,
It is?
yeah, this is if you go to Amazon Music and they're trying to get you to join.
That's interesting. I wonder if they just added
Yeah, it must be
like
something.
this part because the button is responsive, the banner is responsive, the footer is responsive.
I love the lines. That's awesome. That's an awesome find.
That's really great, actually. I mean, the lines are responsive.
Yeah, they line up.
They line up. That's pretty awesome. This is great. I'm so happy you found this. I was really hoping someone would mess with responsiveness. Oh my gosh. I will need everybody's help to determine a winner. We're all going to figure out who we think is like, oh, this is critical. We should get this fixed right away. If it were us, I'm going to need some help determining that because these are all so great in different categories. Did anybody not go that needs to go still?
Kim, do you mind if I give my observation on like what we all just went through? Like I don't mean to step on your toes or anything, but
what have you observed?
So I think it's awesome that we all took a different approach to it. Like, I mean, here I don't know how many people are in the meeting right now. I can't. Let's call it 20 people. We had a team of 20 manual QA. And we just had a swarm testing session where we did exploratory, and we all took a different route and had different things that we kind of focused on. And I thought that was really cool, and it can show like how a diverse team of manual QA can bring out different bugs in the product. Like there are many bugs that were presented today that I wouldn't have found, but it took multiple people's like perspectives to come in and act as different users. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I say we're all winners.
Huh?
I say we're all winners.
I agree. Okay, all right. How does everybody feel about this time around? We're all equally winners.
Email Carlos for your swag.
What? Was that English? What did you say?
He said to email Carlos for swag.
Oh! Oh, haha. All right, so do we want it to be like everyone's a tie and we're all winners, or do we want to choose a winner?
Participation trophies. Yay.
We get Amazon gift cards.
Yeah, don't use it in other languages or trying to upgrade to Prime or anything. I just wanna like, off of Jeff's point, say that's exactly right. All of us did different devices, did different areas, did things that weren't listed. Like, not one person did the same thing. And that was just around 10 minutes finding all of this on a very well-known, polished, quote unquote, website that just has so much traffic. We didn't choose a website that has 2 developers and no QA where there was just bugs galore. Like, this is used constantly, and we were still manually testing, exploring, using our critical minds, our curiosity, our creativity, and we're able to expose these things and bring up questions and find poor user experiences. I mean, that is such a selling point to me. For manual testing and how valuable manual testers are. You can't automate a mindset. Manual testers are amazing. You're all amazing. So, I guess we'll just call it a draw. Everyone is currently a bug hunt champion. So good job, everybody. I'm so proud of all of you. I hope we do something again like this. I'd love to see what everyone comes up with in a different round, maybe a different website. DoorDash. I find so many bugs on DoorDash. Yeah, does anybody have any thoughts or questions or anything they want to share before we call it?
I think one other thing that, if you don't mind, I add, like, this can be used with several other techniques, like Kim mentioned before. There's different types of testing methods, and this is just one of them. I find quite a bit, for at least myself, that I wish I had more time to do this type of testing. A lot of times, like, I get so wrapped up in more like a session-based testing when I'm testing like pull requests from developers, because I'm like moving from one pull request to another pull request. And so I find it helpful that when I schedule like 30 minutes, like here and there, to, okay, this is my exploratory testing time, where I just pick a part of our product that I want to work in and work through that. So I find that that helps me.
Absolutely. I'd almost put money on it that there has to be parts of your product that you haven't actually looked at. Maybe you came into an epic late, or you've only been working on a story for you've been working on one story for several months. You haven't had a chance to really poke around, and you don't know what other parts do. I really feel like you should just take the time to just be curious and find out what things do. Very beneficial.
Yes, be curious, not judgmental. You watched that Ted Lasso, right?
No, but I feel like I've heard it before.
Ah, it's excellent. So it's Walt Whitman.
Oh, okay.
But yes, absolutely, I agree. But many people have said it here before: is I'm a user. I do whatever the hell I want, and it's fun when you can get some exploratory testing of just being a user and not having a particular set of rules to follow to test a particular functionality or features, anything like that. Just be a user and use the product however the hell you feel like you should use the product. And that's how you find user experience bugs, because you're now just being a user instead of following a set of predetermined steps.
Very true.
Yeah, and I'm with Jeff. I think there should be more time given to that level of testing.
I have a fun story that I can share. That's kind of along those lines. It happens to be, I'll share my screen again so y'all can have a visual. I love this story. It's my favorite story. It was right before we were going to release Lucid's Park, which is this guy that we're in. There was about 150 of us in one document. And our purpose was to not break the product, not do anything unusual, be a very happy path kind of user, just normal things that you would do, like pull out sticky notes and do a board and stuff. But I hadn't spent a lot of time in Lucid's Park. I'm in a different part of the product. And so there used to be this adorable animation over here somewhere. I don't know where it is anymore. I think they've moved it completely. There it is. All right. So you see this cute little button that is now hidden. There used to be a wand, and you'd hover over it, and it would do this cute little animation. And it was like all sparkly, and I was like, "Oh, what is this?" And so I was not intending to break anything, and I clicked the cute little wand, and all of a sudden, like, all performance stopped for everyone. Collaboration stopped. People couldn't move anything anymore. Because what was happening in the background is that magic sort button is supposed to organize everything that's in this board. And so 150 people had stuff that they had placed in the board, and all of a sudden I hit magic sort and it was starting to organize, and it just took testing to a complete halt. Just because I clicked a button. I didn't mean to. It was just really cute, and I wanted to see what it did, and I broke everything. So that's my embarrassing story of exploring.
Perfect example.
That was you, Kim?
That was totally me.
That was a company-wide testing session, and Kim broke it. Good job.
They really, and obviously they learned because they took away the cute animation. But it's also an applicable test, because if you have 150 users on a document and there's a presentation and you're all collaborating, I mean, it's supporting that many collaborators. What if someone got curious and clicked a button? Like, it would completely take the meeting to a halt. So it was not too far off of an edge case. But yeah, I broke everything.
That's what we get paid to do.
I watched the world burn is what happened.
Love it.
Right. Well, thanks so much for going through that workshop with us, Kim. We appreciate the time and effort that you put into doing that. So thank you. That was awesome.
Of course. Thank you all for participating. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something.
Yes, and remember November 4th, we're having Alex Langshaw to give a presentation. So should be fun. Hope to see you there. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank
Thank you so much.
Thank you.